Welcome to another episode of Hot Rod City, where we're breaking the mold and starting another project. Not really. I don't consider this as a project. You guys know him as good old boy Andrew, but given the latest one of his new videos, he was renamed Little Willy. So we got Little Willy's car here. He purchased this from a gentleman up the road for the sum of $700 or $800. He offered him $700 but gave him $800. I don't know why. So it has 88,000 original miles. Well, at least that's what the motor says and the odometer says. This car's been dragged behind a camper for the past 3 decades. So it's got a heavy duty mount around here. And we got a pretty hefty order here. As you can see, this whole table is to put into this car. It's really not as bad as you'd think it is. It's like $300 worth of parts to get it through Maryland State inspection. And the reason why it actually has to go through inspection instead of classic tags is because the guy I bought it from is like, he's a dealer. So being sold through a dealer, it has to be Maryland State inspected. It's just a weird law that us Marylanders have to do and give 90% of our income to taxes. So, given the fact that he finally was able to get his stuff straight and he's allowed to tag a vehicle, the good people at the comptroller have blessed him and told him he's allowed to do this. So, I figured I want to start with an easy part of this, and I'm going to put these shocks on the rear hatch because it's the most unnecessary thing I can do while Little Willy's getting the fire going. I'm just demolishing everything in my shop, not looking where he's going. Alright, so I'm back here in the back of the car with the hatch up. The tires are over here. He's got his dinosaur bow. Apparently Daniel Boone used to use this bow and arrow to hunt dinosaurs. So we got that holding this up right now, and then I got these little doomajiggies right here. So I've already popped this one off. They're actually pretty easy to just pop on and pop off, as it were. All you gotta do is put a little root driver right there, and that's it. So this little clippy here clips around a ball. All I do is take the screwdriver and put it in and pull back on it. You only gotta pull back just enough to release the ball, and it comes off. It's something simple, but everybody has always complained about replacing these. I don't know how many hatchbacks I've bought in my lifetime where these freaking things are bad. And as cheap as they are to fix, I think we paid $4 for the pair from Rock Auto. And no, they're not a sponsor. They're just the most affordable place that Little Willy can buy parts from to make his dollar stretch the farthest. And I like it because they give me magnets for the refrigerator. Boop, boop. Alright, so I'm still out here, and I kind of didn't film much because I was just on a roll. It's been 2.5 hours. Turn it around. There you go. Been working on this car, and I had a big pile of a box of parts. Now I got this big pile of scrap metal sitting on here on my flow. I still have to put the tires on. The reason why the tires are not mounted, because one, it's cold outside where the tire machine is in the shed. So Little Willy is putting on his new mud flaps. I've had these mud flaps for like probably since I had a BMX bike or something like that. They've been in like with me everywhere. So he's throwing them on this car because I don't know. What else does a Little Willy do? So like I said, this car now has shock struts all the way around, springs and two because they were like loaded, and it has axles, one tie rod end, brake lines on the front, couple of lights. I had to rebuild the seatbelt for the back passenger. It had ate through the side of it for some reason through the little plastic cover, so I had to take aluminum and make a new cover and everything and rebuild it and all that. So, and buffed out the headlights because they try to fail you for that kind of stuff. And oh, you already saw me put the little lift dealies on the gate. We got lights. So the only thing left to do is bleed the brakes tomorrow and put the tires on the rims and everything. Now, old homeboy we bought this from had these hubcaps painted with aluminum paint. So I had some silver hammer tone. So I hit them with that and then dusted them with some black hammer tone just to tone them down a bit. So I did all 4 hubcaps, and I also painted the rims because when he painted the hubcaps bright freaking aluminum, he didn't take the hubcaps off, so it had silver freaking circles on it. So with that, I got to put tires on tomorrow, and then wheels and brake and bleed the brakes, and then we can take this thing to get it re-inspected. So Little Willy wants to do a lot of modification to this car. He thinks it's going to be a build for the channel, but so, and if it doesn't get 100,000 views in 100 days.
Whoa. 1,000 views in 100 days. And the bet. No, that's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it? It's 100,000 views in 100 days for $10.
No, it was $100.
That means it was for 10 days.
So, anyway, it's not going to happen. It's going to end up with like 50 because who wants to see a Ford Escort station wagon? So he wants to, after it's inspected, he wants to put his system in it, tint the windows. So he's going to learn to tint windows. I'm going to teach him. And I'm going to make him buy the tint because I'm going to make him screw up his $100 worth of tint. So his system, and he is just hounding about buying some wheels. He don't care what color they are, what they look like, if they're square. As long as they got a 4x100 bolt pattern, he's got to have them.
If anyone's got some, hit me up.
So he'll take anything from some 35s with spinners to some 13-inch knockoffs.
Oh, you got some wires.
So
send them.
It's whatever. Like I said, he's got new tires and the whole nine. So he's $800 into this car, plus another $300 in parts, and $200 in tires because they were like $47 a piece or something like that. So will be less than $2,000 in this car, which has 88,000 miles on it, but it was dragged behind a camper for quite a bit, more than likely. So, like I said, we'll do that and then take it for the re-inspection tomorrow and let him get his tags. And then he'll probably disappear for a few weeks just because that's what he does. So Little Willy's got to go up and get his big Willy dipped. So that's usually what happens.
Big Willy style all in.
So his beloved is probably going to be quite thrilled, so that he doesn't ride up all the way up the road shivering on his bike. So yep, we're going to take this, put tires on tomorrow, and get it all pulled back out and get her done, and then we'll see where his modifications take him from then.